One Namorak! Ah, ah, ah. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I apologise for the count reference at the beginning. I hope you found it amusing, but it's staying. I thought it was funny. So, let's get into the content of this video, shall we? I'd like to apologise as well for this video coming out a little bit later than I had intended. I had hoped to get this video out earlier because I had something I had to do today, but unfortunately it didn't turn out the way I planned, so technical difficulties, what are you going to do? Today I wanted to talk about the different variations of Sherman tank that would be available to be added into the game, possibly. Most of them are from nations that aren't actually in the game, although there's no reason that they couldn't be added in as premiums. Romania isn't in the game. We've got several Romanian premium aircraft, including, sorry about that noise, that was an update file being installed. Several premium aircraft, such as the 109 G2, which is Romanian, and the Premium Duck, which is a G2 as well, G2, which is Romanian as well. The BF-109A is Spanish Air Force. You know, there's quite a few. So, let's start with the first one, and the one that there is footage of in the background. The Sherman Firefly. This was adapted by the British to use a 17-pounder gun, but they had to rotate the gun slightly. I think it was something like 90 degrees to the left, to actually fit the gun into the tank. So rather than loading the cannon breech from the top or from the bottom like they normally would, the loader had to load it from the left or right side due to it being rotated, otherwise it wouldn't fit in the turret. Which is why there is a box on the rear of the turret. That is where the radio is fitted, because it wouldn't fit inside the turret otherwise. And then of course we have the subject of this entire video, or rather the influence for me wanting to make this video, which is the M4A1 FL10, the Tier 3 French Premium that will be coming to the game in patch 1.75, which, as Gaijin said, I quote, will be, quote, soon, end quote. This has a 75mm gun, two 6-round drum magazines, so in other words you get 6 rounds, a reload, and then another 6 rounds, and then a long reload, which is how they're doing it in the game, because in real life, the gun had to, well, the tank itself had to leave the battlefield to be reloaded. Of course, you can't do that in War Thunder unless you went and sat in a cap, which would just be asking for trouble, so instead it's going to be compensated by a long reload. Although we've no idea how long that reload is going to be yet. Then we have the fact that this tank will be less weight than the standard Sherman due to the turret being smaller and not having as much armour, I assume. This does also mean that the crew is going to be more tighter packed. Another example is the Super Sherman. These were used by the Israeli Defence Force, or the IDF. They had the M50 Sherman, which used a Cummins diesel engine, and the M51 Sherman. The M51 had a 105mm gun. So let's think for a minute, where exactly would something like this go in the tech tree? Let's say, for example, you put it in the American tech tree as a premium. If you had it at tier 5, it would basically be irrelevant, so you can't have it at tier 5. Tier 4, maybe? I'm using the Tiger II 105 as an example, but the Tiger II can survive on its armour. This thing wouldn't be able to do that, and it wouldn't be mobile enough to evade being shot at, and at the same time, it's too big, it's too easy of a target for what it is. So, the Argentinians also had their own variant, which was the, I'm going to try my best here to pronounce this, Reponticiado? Yeah, we'll go with that. This was conversions of British Sherman VC and IC hybrid to include a diesel engine and a new armament suite. The 105 FTR L44 57 gun, an Argentine licensed copy of the CN 105 57 gun used on the AMX-13, a coaxial Mag 58 machine gun, and a turret pencil mounted Browning 50 caliber heavy machine gun. This is basically the FL10 that we will be getting in game. Of course, you know, this is going to vary a little bit. So, yeah. The Chileans also had their own M50/M60, depending on the model, I'd imagine, converted Israeli M50 Shermans, which, not having guns fitted at the time of purchase, were refitted with the IMI OTO 60mm hypervelocity medium support gun, or HVMS gun. Claimed to be the very last fighting Sherman remaining in Chilean service until 1999, when it was replaced by the Leopard 1-5 and AMX-30B2. So these are just a few examples. Naturally, this is open to discussion, as most of my discussion videos are, you know, clues in the name. So let me know down in the comments section of this video, or in the Reddit comments, or wherever else this video may end up, what you think about this. Do you think we should be able to have more Shermans? I mean, yeah, look, there are loads in the game, but most of them all have a similar flavour. It'd be nice to have something a little bit different, kind of like the Firefly or the FL10. Come to think about it, we don't even have the EZ8, do we? The M4A3E8 is not in the game yet. Apparently it was actually on the original release tree, or tech tree, when the Americans and the Russians first came to ground... No, when the Americans first came to ground forces. But it's not here. One may argue that is it the M4A3E4 or something like that? There's another E version in the game, which looks very similar to the EZ8, but anyway, these are just a few thoughts that I had in my head, you know, so try to keep an open mind about this. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think, what your opinions are. Are you excited for the FL10? I am, and I'm not, really. It all depends on how long that twin magazine reload is. I imagine the reload between the first magazine and the second one will probably about 5-6 seconds, but is it going to have a KV2 length reload? Because if it does, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know a lot of the Warthoner community don't like World Tanks being brought up in their presence, but this is the closest example we can draw from. The Batchat 25T in World of Tanks has something like a 20-second reload, so while it's reloading after firing its 6-round magazine, it has to dart into cover and stay there, because if it gets shot at, it's got no armour and it's going to be dead as a dodo. I am quite looking forward to the top tier French though. I'm hoping for the AMX-30. That's one of my all-time favourite tanks. Those of you who've played Mercenaries 2 will recognise the tank, although in that game it was began with an L. It was like named after one of the big cats, but I can't remember what it was called now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share and subscribe for more. It really does help out the channel. Leave a comment about this subject, you know, give me your view. I'm more than happy to hear it. And I will see you guys in the next Warthoner video. Cheers.